Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm excited for this one. Really excited to make this one. Today we're going to be doing another list video. And it's going to be on ranking every single Team Fortress 2 class from worst to best. Now, if you guys didn't know, TF2 is my favourite FPS game of all time. And my 7th favourite game of all time in general. So I can't believe I haven't made this list before. But I finally am getting around to it now. Now, of course, I do love all 9 of the classes in the game. Well, in terms of the people that they are. Playing as them, not so much. I don't like every class in terms of playing as them. Some of them I'm terrible as. And in order to rank them, I've got two things for my criteria. Number one, what do I think of the character's personality? Do I think they're funny, cool? Do I like them? Do I not? That kind of thing. But the second thing, and arguably the more important thing that I'm going to be ranking these characters on, is how good am I as them? So that's definitely subjective. How good am I as these characters? Because only I know that. Only I know how good I am as the characters. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Coming in at the number 9 spot is the Sniper. His primary weapon, the sniper rifle. Secondary weapon, the SMG. Melee weapon, the machete. Now, the Sniper is from around Australia, New Zealand, that part of the world. And some of the best ways you get to understand these characters is through their in-game quotes or their Meet the videos, because Valve have done a Meet the video for every single class. I mean, the Sniper has some iconic sayings, such as, professionals have standards. Some of you must have heard that before. Yeah, the Sniper from TF2 says that. Or right at the start of the Meet the video where he goes, boom, headshot. Just, the Sniper has some quite iconic lines. He's a pretty cool character. But unfortunately he comes in at number 9 at the bottom of the list because I am absolutely trash as him. Yeah, I'm not good as the Sniper. It's just a class I've never been good at. My best clip, I guess, my best moment as a Sniper is on Dust Bowl stage 1. There was a scout that double jumped. You know what? It's at the second cap point. You know that that bridge that the blue team can come across from this side, and the red team can go through past the cap point from their side. A scout double jumped off that, and I managed to snipe him from on the control point. I was on the control point, and I managed to snipe a scout in midair, which I thought that was pretty impressive. For someone who's not good at Sniper, it was. But yeah, that's why the Sniper comes in at number 9. Coming in at the number 8 spot is the Scout. Now then, the Scout is definitely one of the funnier classes. And his Boston accent definitely helps with that. The Meet the Scout video is the only self-aware Meet the Class video in TF2. Because the Scout literally starts talking to a camera as he beats the crap out of the Heavy with his baseball bat. So yeah, his primary weapon, the scattergun. Secondary weapon, the pistol. Melee weapon, as I just said, the baseball bat. Now, the Scout is actually quite a difficult class to use because he runs faster than any other class in the game, and he can double jump. So that's 2 things no other class in the game can do but him. So trying to line up your shots specifically with the scattergun, is actually quite difficult. Even if there's someone standing still, shooting at you and you're moving around, it's going to be harder for you to hit them because of how much you're moving around. But yeah, the Scout is just another one of those classes where I'm just not good as him. I really am not just good. I'm really not that good at him. I don't really have an iconic Scout moment either that I can think of in the in the 11 years I've been playing TF2. But yeah, the Scout comes in at number 8. Coming in at the number 7 spot is the Demoman. The Demoman. Primary weapon, the grenade launcher. Secondary weapon, the sticky bomb launcher. Melee weapon, the whiskey bottle. Now, the Demoman is the only non-white character in TF2. And he says in the Meet the Demoman video that the rest of the classes have dubbed him the Black Scottish Cyclops. But he's such a great... The Demoman is a great character. He's always energetic. Knows how to knows the best way to take people down. And overall, a great class. Now, how good am I as him? When I first started playing TF2, I was awful as the Demoman. If this list was done at me playing TF2 for the very first time, the Demoman would be ranked at number 9. But he's ranked at number 7 because as I got older, I started learning how the Demoman actually worked. His grenade launcher is, well, a grenade launcher. You shoot grenades, and if they touch an enemy in midair, they explode on impact. If they don't and they land, they roll for 1 to 2 seconds and then explode. Now, a very extremely small detail that probably not many people notice is in the PS3 version of TF2, which, bearing in mind, the reason why I'm only listing the original weapons that the character classes all start with when you first load up TF2, is because I've only played the console versions, not the PC version. So these are the only weapons I've ever been able to use. In the PS3 version of TF2, the Demoman's grenade launcher can hold up to 6 sticky bombs. It could hold up to 6 grenades, not sticky bombs. 6 grenades. On the 360 and PC versions of the game, it only holds 4 grenades in a clip. But somehow in the PS3 version, it holds 6 in the clip. That's a super small detail that I don't think many people even notice. But I noticed it from seeing TF2 videos on YouTube with people playing on PC with 4 grenades in their clip, and me playing with 6 grenades in my clip. But yeah, the grenade launcher I've gotten better with. The sticky bomb launcher, well, what does it do? You shoot a sticky bomb, it sticks somewhere, and you choose when to detonate it. You can do it to take down enemies, buildings, or you can use it on yourself to sticky jump your way out of a dangerous situation. But yeah, I've definitely gotten better as the Demoman over the years. Still not great with him, but definitely better than I was when I first started playing TF2. Coming in at the number 6 spot is Mr. Heavy Weapons Guy. She costs $400,000. So, the Heavy is the most... the Heavy is the most buffed up class. He has the most HP of any class in TF2. In fact, I'm gonna start listing the the class's HP as well as we go. So so the sniper has 125 HP. The scout also 125. The demoman 175. 175. And the heavy has 300 HP. The most HP out of any class. Primary weapon, the minigun. Secondary weapon, the shotgun. Melee weapon, his fists. So the heavy is a class that can be easily taken down, whether by a sniper or a spy, or if you have a good medic on your team, you and that medic can absolutely ruin the other team and just destroy them. Me and Shay have had many times when we've been playing TF2 together, and either I'm playing as heavy or he's playing as heavy and the other one's playing as a medic, and we just absolutely tear through the entire team. Yeah, me and Shay's a heavy medic combo are almost unstoppable. But yeah, the heavy is from Mother Russia, and in terms of intelligence, he's probably the dumbest class. His biggest downside is he's the slowest class as well. He moves slower than everybody else. Although that's not surprising considering he's bigger than everyone else and his main weapon is a minigun. Now, how good am I as him? Well, the majority of the times I've played as heavy was on the PS3 version without any friends, just me. So playing heavy hasn't gone that well most of the time. But whenever I was playing on the 360 version with Shay as my medic, I just tore through teams with the minigun. But yeah, the heavy, getting backstabbed as a heavy by a spy is a very likely thing to happen because you're always focused on taking down everyone in front of you that you may not even notice a spy sneaking up behind you and backstabbing you. But yeah, overall, I say I'm actually not that bad as the heavy. My accuracy as the heavy isn't bad. I'm very good at taking down engineer buildings, especially when I have an Uber. Rarely do I get taken down in a even gunfight with someone. If I do lose, it's either A, they started shooting first, or B, they get the drop on me. But yeah, the heavy comes in at number 6. Coming in at the number 5 spot is the medic. He has 140 HP. Primary weapon, the needle gun. Secondary weapon, the medigun. And melee weapon, the saw. Now then, the medic is German. Of course he is. For some reason, games have a habit of making the doctor crazy and German. Same thing with Richthofen in COD Zombies. Crazy and German. See, they always have crazy German doctors in games for some reason. But yeah, the medic is I'm pretty sure the most intelligent character, if not the second most to the spy, but he's one of the most intelligent characters in TF2. He has to be a doctor, doesn't he? The medic's main job in the game is to heal his teammates. But yeah, the medic as a character is always very sure of what he's doing. Apart from overcharging the heavy at the end of Meet the Medic. When the heavy asks, "Doctor, are you sure this will work?" and he says, "I have no idea." But yeah, there are two kinds of medics in TF2. We have normal medics that just heal their teammates, and we have battle medics. Medics that are like, nah, I'm not sitting back behind cowering behind people and healing them. I'm going into the battle myself, where you will and go in with like your needle gun and start taking down enemies as the medic. Both playstyles of the medic can be effective. Me and Shay would know we have done both of them effectively before. But yeah, the medic is a class I think I'm actually pretty good as. When it comes to healing teammates, you just with the medigun, just always be ready with it. Whenever teammates need it, just start healing them. But as a battle medic, I think I'm also quite not that bad as the battle medic, because whenever I go into battle as a medic, because the needles that you shoot have a arc a bit, you can try and lead some of your shots into classes rather than shooting directly at them. Lead your shots into them. But of course, the number one biggest reason anyone plays the medic, that you should ever play the medic, is to ubercharge people. You build up your ubercharge constantly when you're healing somebody. If you're healing someone that hasn't got their current max health, your ubercharge builds faster. If you're overhealing someone, which means somebody who is already at max health, and you're healing to way over their max health, your uber does not build up very fast. Your uber builds up at its regular rate. Yeah, that's why the medic comes in at number 5. Coming in at the number 4 spot is the spy. Now, in terms of personality, I think the spy is my favourite character. The spy is just such a badass. And the video Meet the Spy is literally the longest Meet the Class video out of them all. The Spy also has the best soundtrack in TF2. It's so good. If you've played TF2 or you've watched Meet the Spy, you know exactly which soundtrack I'm on about for him. HP, 125. Primary weapon, the revolver. Secondary weapon, the electro sapper. Melee weapon, the knife. Fourth weapon slot, the disguise kit. Yes, the spy is one of only 2 classes in TF2 to have 4 weapon slots. Only one other class has 4 weapon slots, and he'll be up next. So, the spy is not a class that gets up in the action on the front lines and gets involved. That's not what the spy is about. His revolver is something that you rarely ever use. The things you're going to be using the most is the other 3 things. The sapper, which can sap, engineer teleporters, dispensers, and sentries, which is hugely helpful, because if your sentries are if enemy sentries are holding your team back, you go and sap them, and your team can push up. Of course, the disguise kit, allowing the spy to disguise as any class in the game, on his team or the enemy team. Of course, if you disguise them as the enemy team, is the obvious way to go, to try and trick them into thinking that that's just another one of their teammates. So you can sneak past and essentially walk straight past them. Just walk straight past them, and they don't even know that you're an enemy, and then start sapping their buildings. But of course, the reason why anyone would play the spy is because of his knife. If you stab an enemy player in the back with a knife, it's a one-hit kill, just like a headshot with the sniper rifle for the sniper. Those two are the only classes in the game that have a guaranteed one-shot kill attack that always works. So yeah, the spy backstabbing people. It is his main way of getting kills. But because he has the tied lowest HP in the game, along with the scout, the sniper, and the engineer, if he gets caught and someone recognizes that he's a spy, you might die because you've got low HP and you've not got extremely strong weapons. And the only other thing the spy has, which isn't actually counted in the weapon slots, is the cloaking watch, where the spy can turn himself invisible to try and sneak past his enemies. Now, how can you tell if somebody is a spy? A few things. One, if you bump into a teammate, because in TF2 you just walk straight through your teammates. But if you bump into your teammate, they're a spy. Number two, just have a look around, see if there's anyone on your team acting suspicious, like running away from you when you go near them, or running up next to engineer buildings. I mean, one of the most sneaky things you can do as a spy is disguise as an enemy player, sneak up to an enemy engineer's dispenser, and just stand there. Because that dispenser will actually heal you. You were able to trick an enemy engineer dispenser into healing you because you're disguised as one of that engineer's teammates, so it thinks you're on their team when you're not. And that is why the spy comes in at number 4. Coming in at the number 3 spot is the engineer. The engineer. HP 125. Primary weapon, the shotgun. Secondary weapon, the pistol. Melee weapon, the wrench. Fourth weapon slot, the sentry dispenser and teleporter builder. Now, the engineer is one of the most unique classes in TF2, as he doesn't solve problems like what is beauty, he solves practical problems. And the answer to solving those, use a gun. And if that don't work, use more guns. Yeah, the engineer, it sounds like, is a much more laid back class compared to the rest of them, as his main way of getting kills isn't actually himself, it's his sentry gun. You know that thing that Torbjorn in Overwatch can build? Yeah, that's just straight rip off of the engineer's sentry gun from TF2. The engineer can build sentries to level 1, 2, and 3. He can build a dispenser, which will give him and any other engineers metal. It will give anyone on your team who stands near it ammo, and it will heal anyone on your team who stands near it. Of course, as I said, the only issue with that is an enemy spy could disguise as one of your teammates and start getting healed by the dispenser as well. Oh, and one more thing. The final way to tell if there's an enemy spy is if you look, because you know when you have your crosshair over a teammate, it says their Steam name, PSN name, or Xbox Live gamer tag, depending on what you're playing on. If it whatever name it says, if it has your online name on there, you're like, that's not me, that's a spy. So yeah, if the person that you see, if you see a teammate with the same online ID as you, they're a spy. Because obviously they are, because they're not you. So always watch out for that as well. But yeah, the engineer, his main source of kills is his sentry. You'll want to get your sentry to level 3 as fast as possible, as in level 1 it just shoots out of one It only has one place it shoots out of. When you upgrade it to level 2, it shoots out of 2 different places, and level 3, it also gains a component that shoots rockets. If you can get multiple engineers with multiple level 3 sentries together, it's a force to be reckoned with. It's quite strong. The only downside to that is the heavy, and if a heavy is ubercharged by a medic, he probably has enough time to take down both of your sentries. And possibly you and the other engineer as well. But yeah, I'm actually quite good as the engineer. That's one of the classes I think I can say I'm quite good as. That's why he comes in at number 3. Coming in at the number 2 spot is the soldier. HP, 200. Primary weapon, the rocket launcher. Secondary weapon, the shotgun. Melee weapon, the shovel. Now, the soldier, whose voice actor tragically passed away this year, R.I.P. Rick May. The soldier is also one of the dumber classes in the game, especially in the expiration date video in 2015, where the spy says, "This is a bucket," and the soldier goes, "Dear God," and the spy says, "There's more," and the soldier says, "No." So yeah, the soldier is quite stupid, but that's what makes him funny. But I am extremely good as the soldier, in my opinion. I'm quite good at him. As the rocket launcher can be used for a few things. 1, blowing up engineer buildings. 2, taking down enemies. Or 3, rocket jumping. Now, rocket jumping is very similar to what the demo man can do with his sticky bomb launcher. To rocket jump, what you have to do is you have to crouch jump while looking down and shoot the ground, as it will do damage to you, but propel you really high in the air. And you will likely take some fall damage when you land. So you'll take quite a bit of damage to do this, but you could get from one side of the map. You could get halfway across the map with just one rocket jump and you're back in the action. But yeah, I'd say I'm really good as the soldier. I'm really good at taking down other players with the rocket launcher. And I'm not even half bad when it comes to taking down enemies with the shotgun. I'd say the shotgun's a pretty good weapon as well. I mean, the only reason anyone uses the shovel is to do the taunts, where the soldier smashes himself over the head with it about 4 times every time he taunts with it. But yeah, the soldier. One of the soldier's best ways of taking someone down is rocket jumping an enemy and then shooting them while they're in midair, because they can't do anything about it. But definitely the most dangerous thing a soldier can do is when he has a crit rocket. You'll know it's a crit rocket because the rocket has a blue glow around it when you shoot it. If that hits anyone, that could very much kill them in one hit. Any character class at full HP cannot die to one rocket. But if it's a crit rocket, they could. I think the sniper, spy, engineer, and scout would all die, even at full HP, to one crit rocket. Of course, crits are a huge thing in TF2. Every class has them, where randomly your weapon will shoot and it'll be a crit. You'll know it's a crit by the sound it makes. If it hits someone, it does way more damage than a normal shot would do. This is extremely helpful if you're going heavy with his minigun and you're ubered and you suddenly start getting crits. Oh, that is almost unstoppable. And that's why the soldier comes in at number 2. And coming in at the number 1 spot in ranking every Team Fortress 2 class from worst to best, it's the Pyro. That is right. and you probably could have guessed from the thumbnail that the Pyro was going to be number 1 on this list. That was kind of that's why he's on the thumbnail, giving you a little hint to maybe that's my number 1 pick, the Pyro. So the Pyro has 175 HP. Primary weapon, the flamethrower. Secondary weapon, the shotgun. And melee weapon, the axe. So the Pyro's flamethrower is something that is from anywhere but short range is useless. It won't do anything. But at close range, the flamethrower is a monster of a weapon. It sets someone on fire, as you'd expect it to do, and it does continuous burn damage over time. Now, a few things can stop this. If there's a body of water in the map that you can swim in, you just jump in there. 2, it will just stop on its own. Or 3, go to a health pack. 4, go to an engineer dispenser. Or 5, call for a medic to heal you. Those are the things that can get rid of burn damage. But yeah, if you're burnt, the Pyro is more effective than any other class when it comes to gunfights in close quarters combat. No one can beat the Pyro. Just keep doing the continuous burn damage over time, and people just can't deal with it sometimes. The shotgun is always a healthy secondary if you run out of ammo with the flamethrower, or you need to do a bit more, slightly longer range damage. The shotgun is always worth it. And the axe is, well, just like every melee weapon. The only melee weapon that's actually unique in TF2 is the Spy's Knife, since it can backstab people. But no other melee weapon in the game is actually unique. They're pretty much all the same. They all do the same thing. But yeah, the Pyro's flamethrower is just, it's so good. Even below average to average TF2 players like me can easily get a quad feed with the flamethrower. It's not difficult. And also, the Pyro is the best class for spy checking. Spy checking is where you go around shooting your own teammates to check that they're not spies. With the Pyro, because you have a flamethrower, you could, if you start shooting fire at your teammates and one of them sets on fire, they're a spy. And even if there's a spy that's invisible, if you shoot your flamethrower and it hits him, if it hits him, he's going to set on fire, so you know where the spy is now. Yeah, that is why the Pyro will come in at the number 1 spot. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I certainly have. Being able to talk about TF2 again. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, and until next time guys, catch you later.